It began on a cold evening in late October. The streets were nearly empty, washed in the dull yellow glow of flickering streetlights. Thomas, a college student walking home from a late-night shift, shoved his hands deep into his jacket pockets, quickening his pace against the wind. He wasn't the type to scare easily, but that night felt different, like the silence around him was watching. He turned the corner onto a narrow alley he often used as a shortcut, but before he could take 3 steps, a voice called from the shadows. "Thomas!" The name came clearly, sharp, as though the speaker had been waiting for him. He froze, his stomach sinking. He hadn't told anyone his name. From the darkness, a man stepped forward. His face was ordinary enough, pale and hollow-eyed, but it was the way he smiled that froze Thomas where he stood. "Been waiting for you," the stranger said. Thomas forced himself to speak, demanding to know who he was, but the stranger only chuckled. "You'll find out soon enough." The unease in Thomas's chest grew heavier with every word. He turned to leave, but the stranger called again. "Your mother's worried about you. Don't keep her waiting tonight." Thomas's heart stopped. His mother lived in another city. There was no way this man could know that. He hadn't even spoken about her all week. Terrified, Thomas sprinted toward the main street, refusing to look back. But the next night, as he walked home on a different route, he heard it again. His name, whispered from a corner. This time, the stranger was already standing under the streetlight, waiting. "You can't run from me," the man said softly. "I know where you'll be. I know everything." Thomas shouted at him, demanding to know what he wanted. But the man only tilted his head and answered, "You'll understand when it happens." And then, as a car drove by, the stranger simply vanished into thin air, as though swallowed by the shadows. Over the following week, the encounters became routine. Every night, no matter which path he took, the stranger was there. He knew details Thomas had never spoken aloud, things about his childhood, his deepest fears, and even dreams he had told no one about. Each night, the man grew bolder, standing closer, smiling wider. Thomas stopped sleeping, haunted by the certainty that this was no ordinary stalker. It was something else, something worse. One evening, Thomas tried confronting him directly, his fear replaced with desperate anger. He demanded to know how the man knew so much, but the stranger only leaned in close, whispering words that made Thomas's blood run cold. "Because I am you. I've always been you." For a split second, Thomas swore the man's face shifted, morphing, contorting, until it looked exactly like his own reflection. And then, just as quickly, it snapped back. Thomas stumbled backward, horrified, but when he blinked, the stranger was gone. From that night on, the man never appeared again. Weeks passed, then months, and Thomas tried to convince himself it had been stress, paranoia, or exhaustion playing tricks on him. But every now and then, when he's alone, he swears he sees movement in mirrors, a shadow that looks a little too familiar, and a smile that forms before he does. Deep down, he knows the stranger isn't gone. He's just waiting for the right moment to return. Thank you for watching. If this story gave you chills, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more terrifying true horror stories. Your support helps keep the darkness alive. Until next time, sleep with one eye open.